Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. This is a podcast to inspire, uplift, show forth the love of God, and help usher in the spiritual awakening. Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. I'm your host, Jay Spillers, and today we're doing a podcast. We're just asking a basic question, and it may only take a few minutes to do. Is there Christmas in heaven? And I don't know if you've ever wondered that. This question may become relevant too, because, when you've had lost loved ones and that Christmas time rolls around, it can always be a very hard time. So you kind of wonder, do they celebrate Christmas in heaven? Do they have the opportunity to celebrate Christmas in heaven? And when I pass away, will I celebrate Christmas in heaven if I want to? And I think the answer is yes. And I get this from basically there was one NDE I heard, and I couldn't even find it online. And I tried to find it again. But there was one near-death experience where this woman died. I think she technically died midnight of December 26th. But when she passed over, a lot of her loved ones that had already departed were there sitting around a Christmas table having a large Christmas feast. And, it was very festive. So that's the only NDE I've really heard where people were celebrating Christmas in heaven. So that at least gives me hope that your loved ones on the other side are celebrating Christmas, and you can celebrate Christmas if you want to. And since there's no time in heaven, you could probably celebrate Christmas anytime you want if you think about it. Maybe you'll end up celebrating Christmas, when someone dies on Christmas Day, to connect with them. But maybe you could celebrate Christmas anytime. And you know how there's different realms of heaven. I kind of wonder if there's a Christmas heaven, that people have created specifically that revolve around Christmas and Christmas themes. Because I think for a lot of people, having a Christmas themed heaven would be the best, would be one place they would like to go to a lot. I've always had this thought about if I could create a realm of heaven that was Christmas themed, I would want to be at Santa's workshop. I would want to be there seeing the gifts being made. I would want to see the elves. I'd want to see Santa Claus, of course. Look outside and it's got, like the North Pole and everything. And maybe somebody's already done that, because if you have millions of people and just a few thousand create it, maybe it's real. Maybe there is a Santa's workshop in heaven. So it's just something to think about, because, like we talked about, you can create your own heaven before. Maybe you could create a Christmas heaven, a Christmas realm. And I would really like it if they had the Santa theme. Of course, when you get to heaven, St. Nicholas is actually there, and maybe you could just go talk to St. Nicholas himself. Of course, I would be interested to see what he thinks of the concept of Santa Claus and, what he did, how it inspired that, what he would think of that. And I'm thinking from the heavenly perspective with love, I think his perception would probably be fairly positive, because he was always into giving and he was always into to love and everything. I think from the heavenly perspective, I would think he'd be pretty okay with it. I think he'd be good with it. I don't know for sure. So other than that one NDE, I don't have any hard evidence of Christmas in heaven. Now, when you look at the scriptures, there's this one verse I'll show you. Now, you've probably read part of this before. This is like where they announced the birth of Christ. This is in Luke chapter 2, verses 13 and 14. It says, "And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." So this is a heavenly host, and they're saying it to the people on earth. So it leads me to believe that there was an angelic celebration of Christmas that went on actually at the birth of Christ. And I think that's kind of interesting because, there's some Christian and Bible based groups that don't believe in celebrating Christmas, but I actually see Christmas being celebrated in heaven itself by the angels. So, I can't really see any problem with it if the angels are doing it in heaven. And that's another indication that there is Christmas in heaven. So that's about all I had was about the concept of Christmas in heaven. And if you're thinking today about your loved ones you've lost, maybe they're celebrating Christmas with you. Maybe they're celebrating Christmas right now. Thank you and enjoy your new year.